with the support of parents and the Board of Trustees and the faculty and even some alums who were interested, a new middle school came into being with a new building and a new faculty that was devoted exclusively to the middle school, and with a combination of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders to populate the new building. Shortly after these decisions were made, Dick Schwab, who was then the head of the Lexington School in Lexington, Kentucky, and part of that time he spent with me talking about the possibility of his becoming the next head, actually the first head of the now completely separate middle school. And he liked that idea, and I liked the idea so well that for what may actually be the only time in my years at Country Day, I did not conduct a search. I felt that I had fallen upon, quite luckily, exactly the right person to take on that responsibility, and simply appointed him to a position that actually didn't begin until several months after he joined the faculty. He became the head of the middle school in January 1986, and was still the head of the middle school when I retired some 8 or 9 years later. Dick was absolutely right for what we needed. He agreed in principle with the things that the committee had recommended. He immediately began to implement those things and did so with both energy and a wonderful sense of relaxed direction, supplemented with humor and the kinds of ingredients that an administrator working with this particular faculty of that age group of young people truly needed in order to be successful, and indeed he was. And the miraculous thing that occurred was that attrition, both at the end of the 6th grade and at the end of the 8th grade, dropped to almost zero in a very short period of time, perhaps even as short a period as a year, but 2 at the very most. And so that's how the middle school in its current form came into existence, and I cannot think of anyone who contributed more to its success than Dick Schwab did. And in retrospect, once again, I look back upon the decision to make that change and to put the responsibility for implementing the change into his hands as perhaps the best single move that I made in my years as the head of this school. I might add that I quickly developed such confidence in the way Dick was handling this implementation of new things, and continued to do so over the next years, that I truly gave the horse its head. That is to say, I let him run the program. We met regularly to let me at least hear about how things were going and to discuss things that needed to change. But basically, he was the guy in charge, and he made it work. So, Dick, you've done well, my friend. Congratulations and thanks.
Hello, Mr. Schwab. Everything that I remember about all of our years together is just such happy memories. And what an incredible leader you were, just making everyone feel special and welcome. From the student, you have the dogs in your office, made everybody feel comfortable right away, to the candy jar on your desk, welcoming people, always having your door open, greeting people with a smile. Teachers, they needed you, you were there, always in their corner, always supporting, always making us feel like we were important in our thoughts and taking care of us. And you made it such a wonderful place to work. Thank you, Mr. Schwab.
So a lot of people know a lot about Mr. Schwab. He's an incredible mentor, a great leader. He had this open door policy and open attitude to everybody. Everybody felt like they were the most important person in the world when they were with him. But here's something you might not know. He has incredibly powerful thumbs. I remember going around with Mr. Schwab one day as he was putting notices up on the wall, and he could take a thumbtack and push it through concrete block without wincing or even acknowledging that it was difficult. Incredible. I think he could actually hammer a nail with his thumb. That's a pretty special talent. With everything else that he has, I mean, my goodness, why isn't that at the top of his resume? Mr. Schwab built the middle school. He is, in my opinion, one of the few real pillars of the school that helped shape it, direct it, create it. But those thumbs, now that's something special. Mr. Schwab, thank you for your years of dedicated service, for being a mentor, a friend, a colleague to me personally, one of those people that really guided me, helped me find my way in life. And I think back at Country Day and the wonderful experiences I had here, and so much of it was because of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Schwab, for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime to work at Cincinnati Country Day School. It was always great to work for you. It was always great to learn from you. And I appreciate all that you did for me and the entire faculty to make the middle school so great. We'll give a general... I'll never forget Mr. Schwab in the middle school commons at the end of the school day. Mr. Schwab was great working with the kids after school, getting to know the kids. He was here beforehand. He really cared about his students. And it was a lesson for all of his faculty to take from him, to know the students and to help the students do their best. Time. We good? Yeah. All right. That's my story, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
That's right.
I was fortunate to be teaching at Country Day when Richard Schwab came to be head of the middle school. Dave Walsh, Richard's predecessor, had pointed us in the right direction. That is, we wanted to create a middle school environment which was to be distinct from the upper school. Dick became our fearless leader. We evolved by no longer being an appendage to the upper school, but by becoming a unique, separate environment where kids who were transitioning from childhood to adulthood could feel nurtured and safe, expressing themselves creatively and receiving a solid academic, athletic, artistic experience. Dick formed a steering committee of middle school teachers whose purpose it was to visit exemplary middle schools throughout the United States. We came back to Country Day after these visits, full of enthusiasm and full of ideas, one of which was to add the 6th grade to the middle school. Dick was invaluable in this endeavor. At the time, taking 6th grade away from the lower school was a controversial topic, but once implemented, it worked beautifully. Also, Dick brought us together as a coherent middle school faculty. Many teachers had taught in both the upper school and middle school at the same time, and now we had to make a choice between the two. On one beautiful fall day, we gathered at his family farm to coalesce our vision and our respect for one another. He also brought an outstanding leader in adolescent education and development to guide us. And finally, under Dick's wise leadership, we designed a middle school building and curriculum for our students. If I had to describe Richard Schwab in one word, it would be authentic. His door was always open to parents, teachers, staff, and especially the students. His enthusiasm was contagious. He was the wind beneath our wings.
Hola, Señor Schwab. Thanks for the 21 years